The polls have officially closed in California. I have no predictions. I think it could go either way. All in all, I see it as a huge success. I remember back in December and January going to help gather signatures and feeling sometimes like, ugh, this is such a long shot. This is never going to happen. And the fact that it did, and the fact that the president and the vice president had to come to California to help campaign to keep Newsom in office just is that in and of itself is a huge success. And they got shook. We shooketh the president. And that is because people came together and said, we had enough, we love our state, and we want it back. So I think it's great, but now we just wait and see what happens. Hello, how are you all? I hope you're doing well. I am actually a little excited, a little more than excited that this is the last video that I have to make talking about this recall Gavin Newsom election. Holy cow, I can't wait to move on to different topics, and that I will do. But right after I posted that video to my social media last night, it came in that it was called for Newsom. So hair gel survived the recall election. But I stand behind everything I said in that video 100%. You have to understand that we were up against a monster, not just that monster, but the monster in general. And this started as a small grassroots effort. And even Larry Elder's campaign was basically a grassroots effort. And the fact that we were able to make this much headway to wake up this many people in California and bring this many people out, to have the media coverage that it had, to have the president and the vice president have to come to campaign for Newsom, and the fact that they could not even make one argument as to why we should keep Newsom. The only thing they would say is, we got to keep California moving progressive. And Larry Elder, ooh, bad guy, you're voting for Trump if you vote for Larry Elder. There was this. Come on. Would you like to be the person that voted for this? I'm just glad I'm not on this. I mean, look at this. Gavin Newsom says a vote for Larry Elder is a vote against diversity and racial justice. So this is a vote for diversity right here. This is a vote against diversity. It is beyond parody at this point. How could anyone take this seriously? And notice when they were campaigning for Gavin, they couldn't think of one thing that he did for California. Not one thing. All they could do is say, if you vote for this, it's against this is for diversity. Against diversity. Larry Elder grew up in South Central LA and his dad was a janitor. Gavin Newsom is the epitome of privilege. If we're going down that road, these aren't words that come out of my mouth. I don't like those arguments. But this is their argument. This is his argument. Anywho. I can't. Look at that. Okay, see you later. My favorite is here, the San Francisco Ironical posted, yet another underqualified white guy keeps his job. So I'm secure. I'm happy at what happened. Am I disappointed that Larry Elder's not the governor? Of course. I think that would have been really, really cool. I think it would have been such an upset and just such a nail in whatever this establishment is trying to do right now. But I am not upset. I still look at this as a success. George Papadopoulos posted on Twitter, there is no GOP leadership in California. Given that fact, what Larry Elder was able to achieve simply with the assistance of the grassroots is to be applauded. And I retweeted and I said, I totally agree. If you understand California, this was amazing how far it got, and I'm proud and should only be incentive to work hard and harder in the future. Keep it going. It will grow and it will get bigger. I want to address a few things because every time I talk about the recall or anything like that, you almost don't even want to because you know what a lot of the comments are going to say. And a lot of people will be like, it's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged, it's all rigged, it's rigged. All right, well, look at these numbers. First, so this is how many people voted in the big election. I can't think of words right now. This is how many people voted in the Trump versus Biden election. And that's how many people voted in the recall election. And you can see a lot more Republicans came out and voted for Trump in November than they voted in this recall election. So it seems like a lot of Republicans are not coming out to vote. And you can argue that some of them moved out of state, which I do believe is true, but I don't believe that it fits this margin. And what I worry about and what I would say is that all the people saying it's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged. First of all, in my opinion, having that attitude before a big election is going to keep people home and give them an already defeated mindset. If we keep saying this every time we lose, then less and less people are going to go out and vote. They're just already going to feel defeated. And if election integrity is a big worry of yours, then get out there, get your hands dirty and do something. Go volunteer or just start talking to your neighborhood or get that message out, because the truth of the matter is, were there anomalies? Yeah, we heard the story coming out of the San Fernando Valley, and there were different anomalies here and there, but do I believe that it was so widespread that it tipped the scales in California? Honestly, you guys, I don't think they had to. I really don't. If you understand California and understand what they were up against, I was excited because I'm like, wow, there's a chance. There was a real chance. But also look at what Republicans were up against. Exactly what there's no GOP leadership in California. Not only that, Gavin Newsom had the media on his side. He had celebrities on his side. He had the blue state of California on his side. He had $50 million in his campaign. I believe Larry had 10. If you turned on the television, every single ad was for Gavin Newsom. He had the teachers union. Walmart even went in and endorsed. So this was, the little man up against a huge giant machine. And again, I really do think, yes, a lot of Republicans did come out and vote, but a lot didn't. Look, I lived in California for 5 years. I know how people in California think, especially in Los Angeles where I live. You even say Trump's name and they will lose their minds. And a lot of people in California, they don't pay attention to politics. So if all you're seeing on TV is vote no on the recall, if all of your favorite celebrities are like, vote no on the recall, if everyone around you is like, vote no, that's the right thing to do, that's the right thing to do, that's exactly what you're going to do. Look at this. I could not even believe that this was in the Daily Caller today. Look at this. It says, this is Daily Caller. It says, Newsom sails past Republican recall, will remain California's governor. And that was the Daily Caller. This is what we are up against in California, and just calling it the Republican recall. A lot of people were not voting for Gavin Newsom. They were voting against Republicans. They were voting against Donald Trump. And I was just talking to my mom this morning. I experienced it myself. There were people that, because I'm outspoken online, they tried to slander me by saying, look, she's a Larry Elder supporter. And I'm like, that's your own? That I'm a Larry Elder supporter? They don't even know who Larry Elder is or what he's about, but they have been so brainwashed to associate Larry Elder with Trumpism. And honestly, I don't even think they could ever even say what terrible things that Trump did. They don't know. They are just surrounded by this media machine that tells them this bad, that bad, this bad. So that is so ingrained in their heads. So I'm not saying that election integrity is not something that we need to worry about. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying if that's something that you're worried about, then get out and do something. And the truth of the matter is, I don't know what really Republicans. There were a lot of volunteer groups asking for volunteers, but I'm talking about Republicans that are higher up. I really don't know what they did to prevent any sort of thing happening. And again, we can go back to what George Papadopoulos said, that there's really no GOP leadership. I mean, just look at what we were up against and how far we got. And I didn't even think about this before, but I don't know of any major Republican in Washington that even came to help Larry Elder campaign. And look at how many more people know who Larry Elder is now than they did before. I'm excited. I think this is a win regardless. I'm not going to let the naysayers, it's rigged, everything's rigged, there's no point. I'm not going to let you steal my joy. If you're concerned about it, go out, get your hands dirty, volunteer, even if it's just talking to your neighbor. Okay, I want to read you something that James Lindsay posted. Your occasional reminder that, if you haven't done so yet, once you take the red pill, the world starts making so much more sense, and the cognitive dissonance load you carry day after day drops precipitously. Other people think you're crazy because you're finally sane. Anyway, am I disappointed that Larry Elder won't be the governor? Absolutely, I'm disappointed. That would have been so cool, but do I feel defeated at all? Nope, not at all. Here it is. Last video about the recall. Finally. All right, thank you very much, you guys. Hey, I'm still talking. I changed my shirt. This is going to be a cluster of a video. But, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, Republicans need to get better at outreach. They have a hold on everything, the media, celebrity, all of this. And I wish more celebrities would have the courage to say what they really think, because every big commentator I follow, they're all like, you would not believe the celebrities that email me telling me they're a secret this or they're a secret that. So I think outreach is a huge problem, and that's where Republicans fail the most. That is how they get away with this bullcrap. How ridiculous this is. It's ridiculous, but the cognitive dissonance that we were just talking about in that James Lindsay post, the cognitive dissonance is real, you guys. That's because everything around them is telling them one thing, and even sometimes you can feel it. Like, you kind of feel it in your intuition, like something is off, and I think that's why a lot of them are very angry, because they know something is off. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. So messaging, huge. And that's where Republicans fail. And that's what we can learn or take away from all of this stuff. And that's why I'm staying positive, and I'm going to keep grinding and keep speaking my mind and keep making stuff. And I hope that you all do the same. Again, whether it's just talking to your neighbor or talking to your friend and saying, hey, let me show you this. Or like, hey, maybe you should think twice about that. And it's not about changing anyone's mind or being like, you need to think just like I do. Come into my lair and be my fellow cultist. No, it's not like that. It's just opening up people's mind to question, to think critically, to say, I like this, but I don't like this. Because again, a lot of people, they weren't voting for Gavin Newsom. They were voting against what they think Trumpism is. They were voting because they think that Larry Elder is the black face of white supremacy. And to you and I, that sounds ridiculous. That sounds hilarious. That is so absurd. But to them, this is their reality, and this is what they've been told, and this is what they think. This is honestly this is their whole world. Just like I was saying earlier, all those people that, oh yeah, well she's a Larry Elder supporter. Haha, I got one over you. I'm like, that's your own? Whoa, you really got me there. Do you even know who he is? But anyway, I just wanted to add that in. I'm sorry for this montage of a video that I just made. I just have a lot of thoughts about this, but I don't want anyone to feel defeated, and I don't want anyone to get down about this, because I do not look at this as a defeat at all. Okay, so just look at how Biden was received in Long Beach, what we were just talking about the other day. So anyway, I'll see you all later. Bye.